Hey, I hope you're doing well. I'm doing another Shelee bloom technique with the same recipe I tried the other day, which worked really well, but I had to give it a go with more colors. The ones I used the other day were the teal and the Paynes Grey and orange mixed with the little Red Oxide and Deco Art 24 karat gold. Today I added in, I'm going to try the Folk Art Treasure Gold and then some Jo Sonja's. They're matte fluid acrylics, so they're not super thick, but they're Dioxazine Purple, Napthol Red Light, Blue Violet, Yellow Orange mixed with Yellow Light, Yellow Green mixed with Pine Green. All of those are mixed 2 parts Floetrol to 1 part paint. Might be a little bit more Floetrol than paint, might be almost 3 parts, because these are, you know, pretty vibrant coming out of the tube, and they're I just didn't think I needed as much of it as I did the Floetrol. And I wanted, the other day my paints were a little bit thicker, I wanted them a little bit more fluid this time. So, and I noticed, you know, when you mix it with Floetrol at first, it seems like the color is paler, but then I noticed as they're sitting after I mix them that they've deepened up in color and they definitely dry darker. So don't worry about the color change at all. I also added a little dollop, just a little squirt of Artist Loft Iridescent Medium from Michaels. Favorite thing in the world. Added it to all my colors to give it some sparkle like I did on the other video. I don't need to add it to the gold, so I did add that. The pillow is going to be, and I've just put it in a container, Walmart ColorPlace White Satin Enamel. I think it was ready to use, ready to go, something like that. It doesn't really matter, it just needs to be white satin for the base. And I added a little bit of water to that and a squirt of GAC 800 from Golden. That's to help with cracking and crazing, because if I don't do that in my work studio, they will crack and craze with the previous pours that I have tried with Shelee's Art Blooms. Okay, so that's with regular US Floetrol, 2:1 with the colors. The white base coat is just white paint with a little bit of water, a little bit of GAC 800, nothing else added to it for the pillow. Then the top, last thing that goes on top is always the cell activator. I've got my white 2:1, 2 parts Australian Floetrol to 1 part Amsterdam Titanium White, which is here in the tube. I use specifically that Titanium White from Amsterdam. The Australian Floetrol, my little mini bottle that took me 2 months to get it. This is a 500 milliliters, but because you're using very little cell activator, this will last me quite a while. 2 parts Floetrol to 1 part paint, okay? So that is my white cell activator, and then I made a black cell activator because I love using black as a cell activator, and on that one I used Arteza Mars Black. So we're going to see what happens with this. This is an experiment, who knows? Okay, so also something a little different I'm doing today besides using ceramic tile, and let me get one to show you there's a significant difference. These are 4-inch glass tiles from Doris, and it's a craft supply company. Glass tiles versus ceramic tile. I just thought, man, wouldn't that be easier to try something a little different, but you know, these would probably be pretty easy to break, but I'm just going to play with them anyway. And there's a significant difference in the thickness. and with it being glass you have to be really careful, so I just wanted to bring that up. So I've got frog tape on the back of this, and it's painted, so it's going to be a hair thicker just because it's been painted with a thick coat of the pillow paint colors and all that. I haven't resined it or sealed it yet, but it has frog tape on the back. The difference with the glass ones I'm doing today, I thought it would be cheaper and easier by far than using frog tape is to put contact paper, you know, because contact paper is all squared off, you can measure it and all that good stuff. Contact paper is on the back. I've got some already done. I'm going to show you my last strip. So I have contact paper. You can see that there's some bubbles. That just keeps fingerprints from drying on the back of the glass, and if I do decide that I want to resin these after they dry, they'll already have this on the back to keep them from getting fingerprints and drips that dry on them. So how I do this is a roll of contact paper, and it doesn't have to be see-through. It can be, you know, on the clearance rack or whatever, and you just peel it away from the paper and you lay it down sticky side up. Got me a little cutting board here, and I'm just going to lay down one. They don't have to be straight, they just got to be on the contact paper, you know what I mean? And I can actually get 4 across, but I had done sets of 4 and I had one separate piece that I've already done, so I'm only putting 3 on this one. So you just lay them down, and it's so super easy. You just, on a cutting board, you just cut right up beside that contact paper. Very fast and simple. So much quicker than taping with frog tape. So there's one. You don't even have to do this perfectly because it's just taping on the back side basically is what you're doing it for. Just to preserve the back. And then you'll obviously pour on the side that is the glass side that's not got the contact paper, right? That only makes sense. I just don't want you to be confused. And one other cool thing about contact paper, let me tell you. Okay, there's my last piece. It's cut. So I can throw this away. The beauty of contact paper, I saved my strips here because they're nice and shiny. This is the perfect thing to do pours on if you're just experimenting, or if you want to do small pours with leftover paints. And what I do is I'll tape it down to something that's flat. I've got some pieces of plastic that are kind of about this size, and they're just clear plastic, and I tape down the edges, and you can do a pour on this and let it dry flat, and then you can put your if you make jewelry or whatever, this is a great way to do skins. You just you glue your piece of jewelry right down on top of that paint skin, and it peels right off of this paper super easy. So I keep things like this around for extra paint drips. I save it. So that's just a little trick with the contact paper. So again, really quick, 2 parts US Floetrol to 1 part paint. No water or anything else added to any of that. Cell activators, 2 parts Aussie Floetrol to 1 part paint. And let me show you again the bottle so you can see what it looks like. I'll include a picture at the end of the video. It looks very different from American Floetrol. Same company, but this is made in Australia. It has a different chemical makeup. I think it's just, I've heard it's the binder that's in this that's not in American Floetrol. That's the only thing that I have heard. I don't know if that's true or not. That's just what I've heard, okay? So, let's have some fun. Got my white paint in a container, and I'm going to put it into a cup a little at a time, just because when you're doing this, it's messy and it's just easier to do from a smaller container. So I'm going to put that aside. That will be my pillow. And then I'm going to spin. Yes, I am. Just because after I blow it, it takes so long to tilt with this style of pouring, because the paints are thicker. It takes forever to tilt, but if you spin, it just goes so much quicker. And if you're doing 12, 16 tiles or whatever, it just makes the process go quicker. I'll still be fast forwarding through a lot of this, but the spinning just helps speed up the process. And these little cups came from, I think, Dollar Tree. So there was a set of maybe 20 of them or something like that. They're little, they're called appetizer or sauce cups. They don't have lids, but they're great for if you want to use them, you know, a day or two. You can cover the mixed paint with saran wrap as long as you do, you know, some seal. You can save it for multiple days, but you know, these are made to be disposable at some point. But for $1, that's what I got. So I thought these were pretty cool. And this is a noisy. It's a wooden board that we fixed it to, and also on the back side. And this is a round mechanism. There's multiple ones that you can get. You can get them on Amazon. You can get them at Home Depot and Lowe's. Some are square, some are round. So we made this one, but it's ball bearings and it's noisy. Okay. Alright, so the Magical Potion, Aussie Floetrol, and Amsterdam Titanium White. You can probably use other brands, but this one has seemed to work pretty good for me. And then Mars Black from Arteza, which we're going to give a try today. I love my gold, so I'm going to include this gold probably in most of them, but who knows? You do have to wait for it to come back in. Okay, so there's the first one. To me, just not enough color, so I'm thinking I need to put more color down, but I'm wondering if those colors, because they're fluid acrylics, if the pigment is not quite strong enough. I think I'm going to scrape this tile. I don't typically do that. I'm going to add my golden fluids, little drops, similar colors. don't have purple, so I'm going to put a little quinacridone in here and a little squirt of Ultramarine Blue, which make purple. And it's not going to change the thickness or anything of the consistency. It's just going to hopefully add a little bit more pigment into the mix. So now we're going to try it again. Okay, I'm going to leave this one, but I'm going to tilt it just to get some colors hopefully stretched out of it. Okay, that one did a little better. A little more color showed up. So I can deal with that one a little bit better than the last one. It's just, yeah, got a little bit more going on. So I'm going to change colors up. Pretty. Still not getting the color in the middle. I'm going to keep trying. It's pretty. Going to keep working on it. More paint colors on this one, less white, more vivid. So maybe that's the answer there. Better. I want to see the next one. Okay, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. So learn as you go. Learn as you go. But we know that regular Floetrol works with paint, US Floetrol, and Aussie Floetrol works with the cell activator. We do know that. All right. And I'm happy that I found a way to get blooms without having to use a bunch of crazy products. Interesting, not my color choices, but interesting. The lighter to darker at the top as opposed to the dark to light. Just my preference, or maybe just not these colors together. Love this one. Love, love, love the colors on this one. I'm a little concerned with these being glass. I guess with a coat or two of resin and cork bottom, it'll be pretty substantial then. Right now it feels a little frail because it's so much thinner than a regular tile. Love. So the teal being on the top is just gorgeous. Gorgeous. Love, love, love. Okay, I'll just have to try that again with that combination, if I can remember what order I put it in. I think I'm going to leave it right there. I don't want to go any further. I do want to just a little bit. Beautiful. Okay, I'm going to try something different. I saw Paul Start Art do this and don't know if it'll work, but I'm going to try it. This one has a lot of sling off. I really want to keep it spinning. It just barely fits. So I have to say, I've always said that the Deco Art 24 karat gold is my favorite gold of all time to do acrylic pours with and on my artwork, general artwork. But I have to say, as far as the Shelee Bloom, the Treasure Gold by Folk Art is way more, it's deeper, it's a deeper gold, and it shows up way more in the Shelee Blooms than the 24 karat gold does. So I vote this in for the Shelee Bloom gold. I don't use Golden brand fluid gold. It's kind of pale to me. So this is really pretty, really pretty. Now I do have paints left, and I kind of want to do something with them, but I'm going to have to leave this sitting on this so I can figure out what I'm going to do. Do you ever think about your spouse, like if they get mad at you for disappearing to your studio for 4 or 5 hours? That's what I'm wondering about Greg today. Because I just disappear for half the day. And it always ends up being like it's 6:30, like it's dinner time. And I haven't even thought about dinner. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to do, I think, one more pour paints that I have left, but not Shelee Bloom technically. I just want to try it out with something else, but I'm going to do that on a different video. I hope you enjoyed this. So, US Floetrol works with colors. Aussie Floetrol works for the cell activator, and you can put down a white base coat of any of your choice. Just put a little water in it and a little GAC 800 if you're concerned about cracking and crazing. That just helps with it, and you should have a blast. You can make a big mess like this. I went through a couple of sets of gloves, a good amount of paint just on 16 tiles, and I guess a 8-inch canvas and a 10-inch canvas. So quite a bit of paint I used today, but it was sure fun. I had a blast. I hope you did. I hope you will subscribe if you're not a subscriber already. If you are a subscriber, click on the bell on the bottom right to get notifications. Please share with your friends. That's the best way you can help me, is just sharing the video with one of your friends that maybe doesn't already subscribe. And if you can watch the ads, if you just watch them, it just gets a little tiny percentage that goes to me through YouTube and Google. That's the only way I can make any income on this channel, is by you watching an ad for 10-20 seconds or so. So I'd greatly appreciate it for your kindness. And I love you all. Hugs, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.